Hello everyone, welcome to the Planner Coven. I'm Simone. I hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to talk about the whiplash that was my planner life this week. And where I've landed, where I started, where I was, where I am. Here we are. This is where we started and where we came back to. We came full circle in my mini, but for some brief days, if you are on Instagram, you may have seen this. We went back to personal. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, we did. And here's why. I really missed hourly planning. I don't know why, because when I started my new job, I found it laborious and annoying to track my hours. But now I'm finding it relaxing and a way to chronicle my life in a sort of interesting and tactful way. And I do mean tactful because I'm not hourly tracking like in Google Cal or something. It is indeed in my planners. I can touch them and feel them. They are not in the virtual space, because if it's in the virtual space, to my brain, it just doesn't exist. It's not real. It is ethereal. It's basically an angel, and I can't see them. So they need to be grounded to the earth in some way, and these are. So I will show you where I started. This is my December setup, by the way. We've got The Grinch and The Hogfather. Two of my favorite Christmas movies. By the way, this is new. This is a Catspresso Co. pocket thing. Let me cover my personal info. It has a secretarial pocket on both sides. It's vinyl and it's very thick and substantial, so I'm not sure if I like that. I kind of liked the thinness of vellum sheets that I would use for my monthly themes. The only reason I stopped doing that is because I ran out of printer ink and I haven't gotten some for like 2 or 3 months. But I finally got some, so I should be able to resume printing my vellum dashboards and laminating them. But in the meantime, this works well for holding Polaroids and scrap paper like this. This is really pretty Japanese paper, and I like that. And so let me take you to where we were. Okay, so this is where we were at the end of November. And I decided, can I do any kind of hourly tracking? So we were playing some board games, so this was scrap paper and this just became an experiment. I was like, how big of a timeline could I get on this page? I got from 6 a.m. all the way down to 10 o'clock. That's a long timeline, especially in such a small piece of paper. So this is 3mm grid, and that's a very usable timeline. That's a larger timeline than most like personal or pocket planners that have any kind of virtual layout. So I started to use it and experiment with it. So I just do 6 to 22 down here. I do like military time because it eliminates any confusion between AM and PM. And I would do journaling on this side. Then I thought, well, where are my tasks gonna go? So I did the timeline over here, so more, and then I put tasks here. The only thing that made that a little off is because that left very little room for me to write here in the timeline, which is fine. You can see I was doing well and there was plenty of room for tasks. I didn't know where to put my daily sticker, because if I put it up here, it would be, I don't know, it was awkward. So I put it over here where my journaling is. That also looks and feels a bit awkward. But you can see I continued with that format and it was working really well. I still have my my Pickle dashboard. This is Pickle, my cat. So whenever I have a Polaroid, I put him over it to create a flat writing space for this page. So you can see still using that. I tried putting it over here. This was a day of experimentation. I tried putting it over here and the task list up here like this, and then dividing the timeline in two and putting it more horizontally, like dividing it horizontally, but it's still a vertical timeline. Does that make sense? It goes from 6 to 1 and then from 2 to 10 down here. But I felt like that was not the vibe. So we went back to this. I experimented putting the date sticker up there. I don't like how it leaves this space here and forces all my tasks down and it takes up space. I don't know. I don't like it. But I was trying, and then, so we're missing the 7th and the 8th. And I think that's because I was like, I miss my hourly tracking in the personal. Because in the personal, I got the same hourly tracking vertical weeklies that I had last year. These are from Raymay Da Vinci. I got them on Amazon in Japan. They're quite affordable. They're Tomoe River paper. Cream. They have like green printing. It looks very vintage and cool. And I love them. So these are what I used most of last year. So I got them for 2025 and they start in December 2024. So you can see the 7th and the 8th, I jumped back into this. I planned my week, and I jumped back in on Saturday, the 7th and the 8th, and then I was in it for 2 days, the 9th and the 10th. And I loved, for one day, I loved it. I loved it so much. Like I said at the beginning, it's like a very tactful way to ground me, because I'm putting down my life in words, and lines, and it's a very snapshotty way to do it. It's not like long form journaling, because I'm finding that exhausting. So let's go back to the 9th. So I was doing both planners for a couple of days to see which I liked better. I knew I wasn't going to use all this room below my tasks. So I did this. I kind of did some micro journaling. I had a chat with my brother and that gave me a major mood boost. And I was like, oh, I really like doing this sort of horizontal micro journaling against my vertical timeline. How can I get more room over here so that I have room to do that? So now what I'm doing is I've eliminated the date sticker because it just takes up too much room on either side of the paper. I'm just writing in the date at the top. And I'm leaving this page completely blank except for the timeline on the left. Here's a good example as well. And then I'm doing my rapid logging, my tasks, and micro journaling on this side. So I am, to differentiate between the journaling and the journaling and the rapid logging with tasks, I skip a line. So then, because if it's just like task, note, task, note, journal, note, it kind of like disappears. It becomes a wall of text. So that leaves this entire page for me to write on the timeline. This has been amazing. I've been doing it for 3 days now. Well, I guess 4 days technically. And I think this is it. I think this is what I want. I have plenty of room to like draw contextual lines. So this note over here happened at 11 o'clock. Like I love connecting notes and journaling with time, which is why I write timestamps when I do journaling. And this just makes it a more visual way of doing that. And I really like it. I really like it a lot. And doing it in my mini gives me a lot more room to write than in my personal vertical weekly. So the downside is that this is a day on 2 pages instead of a vertical weekly. So I can't see all of my vertical hourly tracking on one spread, which is really nice. Like this is really neat and nice and cool, and I can put stickers in. It's like a nice snapshot of the whole week. I've got my gratitude down here. This is one day. So I thought that I would miss having all of this on one layout, which is what kept pulling me back to it. But this, I feel like, is even better for my brain somehow. So I'm still doing my gratitude and stuff in the week on the weekly page. So I'm not losing any functionality. I'm gaining a lot more context, I guess. But oh my gosh, I was jumping back and forth every single day. And I even went as far as printing out a vertical weekly for the mini. So this is the timed vertical weekly from Peanuts Planner Co. for pocket size, which I printed at 86%. And as you can see, it is perfectly sized for the mini. It's actually a little bit large. So I probably would have, these are test prints because I didn't want to waste my Tomoe River paper. This was a bust pretty much, but it was nice to experiment. And I can't believe I printed a vertical mini weekly. Has that been done before? I don't know. Are people obsessed enough to get pocket size inserts and size them down to 85% and print them for their mini planners? I don't know. I am, apparently. So here we are. For a couple of days there, like I said at the beginning, it was whiplash, honey. It was bruises on my torso from the seatbelt. It was a lot. I was jumping back and forth. And I'm sure anyone on my Instagram was like, what is she doing? She needs to take a chill pill for real. And you can consider that pill swallowed, because here we are and it's great. I'm really loving it. So otherwise, nothing else much has changed. I did get a new cover, if you can see. This is a black Moterm. They call it A8, but it's just mini 5 rings. I never thought I would like pebbled leather, but I could not get any of the A8s in veg tan in like a darker color. I wanted something more moody. And I like this combination of the black with my sort of iridescent, almost glow-in-the-dark Kaweco Sport. This is a ballpoint, by the way. It's a clicky click. It's not a fountain pen with a cap. I like it with my iridescent jellyfish and stars. I think they're a great combination against the black. It's almost like bioluminescence in the deepest part of the ocean. Can you tell I like imagery? There we go. Anyway, so that is where I am and where I've been this past week. Sorry I have not made videos in the past month or so. I've moved and busy with things, but check me out on Instagram. I update more often there. And until next time, I will see you later. Take care. Bye.